What if discovering your great-grandparents' stories could actually improve your mental health? Sounds a little unexpected, right? But research is showing something powerful. When we connect with the stories of our ancestors, their triumphs, their struggles, their resilience, even their weaknesses, it can actually strengthen our own sense of identity, purpose, and peace. In this video, we're diving into how family history and mental wellness are connected, and why learning your family's story might be one of the healthiest things you can do for your mind and heart. Let's start with connection. One of the most well-known studies on this topic comes from psychologists Dr. Marshall Duke and Dr. Robin Fivush at Emory University. They asked children a simple set of do you know questions. Things like, do you know where your grandparents grew up? Or do you know how your parents met? What they discovered was remarkable. Children who knew more about their family stories had higher self-esteem, better emotional resilience, and lower levels of anxiety, especially during tough times. The reason? Knowing your family's history gives you a sense of identity that stretches beyond your own life. It grounds you in knowing that you're part of something bigger, that your story didn't start with you, and it won't end with you. Many people describe feeling strength from their ancestors, even those they never met. Whether you see that as a spiritual connection or simply as the power of memory, it's real. Psychologists call this idea the intergenerational self. It means that when we see ourselves as part of a long family line, we gain perspective. We feel less alone. One study from Memory Journal found that families who share stories about past generations foster a stronger sense of purpose and belonging in their children, traits directly linked to emotional resilience and lower depression rates. In other words, when you know your roots, you stand taller. But let's be honest, not every family story is easy. Some are painful: divorce, abuse, addiction, and loss. It can be hard to look at those stories, especially if we see reflections of them in our own lives. But facing those hard histories can actually help our healing. A 2019 study published in Frontiers in Psychology found that people who reflected on their ancestors' struggles reported increased gratitude and a deeper sense of purpose. Even painful stories can be transformed into sources of strength. Here are 4 principles that can help us process those harder parts of the past. First, practice empathy. Not just I feel bad for them, but I'll try to feel with them. Second, seek support. Talk to friends, mentors, or counselors when discoveries feel heavy. Third, be a cycle breaker. You are not bound to repeat what came before. Fourth, turn to higher strength. For many, faith and spirituality bring peace when stories feel too painful. When we face our ancestors' difficulties with compassion, we can begin to understand our own, and sometimes that's where healing begins. Here's another fascinating piece of the puzzle. Families that share stories together are actually healthier. In 2019, researchers at Emory University found that family storytelling increases empathy, trust, and communication, leading to higher family cohesion overall. It's not just about genetics, it's about connection. These family narratives can even include mentors, teachers, or community heroes who shape our lives. Every story that connects us to courage, kindness, or perseverance strengthens our mental health. One of the most powerful patterns we see in families everywhere is the story of the cycle breaker. Someone who grew up in hardship, pain, or loss, but decided to live differently. Maybe you know someone like that. Maybe you are someone like that. Because of new tools that we now have access to, like DNA and AI, across the world, people are rediscovering lost family connections, reuniting with siblings, learning long-hidden stories, and realizing that healing doesn't have to skip generations. When we uncover stories of redemption, courage, and faith, we realize that we carry those same strengths within us. Their resilience becomes ours. So as you begin or continue your family history journey, don't just collect names and dates. Ask, who were these people? What did they overcome? What can their story teach me? Because when we take time to discover our family's past, we don't just find history, we find healing, hope, and strength for our future.